Yeah, so this is gonna be the second of the runs I'm gonna do for today. Thoughts on Ice Bow versus Frost Blast. So I believe Frost Blast is the skill that's unlocked in the beginning of the game. But I think when it comes to speed, Ice Bow is definitely slightly better because you can just fire it easier than Frost Blast. Like as a beginner weapon, it's pretty good. Oh my god, I keep thinking this is... I'm still playing the other weapon that I played last game. But like, in terms of execution, you can fire the bow a lot easier than you can with Frost Blast. I'm trying to look back between the screen and what people say in chat. This is like way harder than it looks. I don't know how streamers do this. How do you talk and play at the same time? Well, to be honest, I don't know. I don't have two monitors, but I do have an ultra-wide monitor. I can't really show you guys it, but essentially I'm playing the game at 1080p, and then on the side I just have like the chat open so I can see what's going on. I'm sure there are some plugins that just lets you see the chat. I know someone said this earlier, do you like isekai anime? I think it's kind of like a double-edged sword for me. I haven't seen too much. Which DLC should you buy first? I think I would definitely start with Bad Seed because it offers early game content. Fatal Falls can go after because it's mid-game, since once you get a little bit more familiar with the game, you'll actually start to access the content more and more. And then I think for Queen and the Sea, since it's endgame, that should be the last one that you buy. But then I'm assuming that they're gonna do some kind of offer where there's like a bundle, like what they usually do. The only isekai anime I'm watching right now is Re:Zero. I haven't even seen season 2 yet. Are you planning to do a machete and pistol showcase? I actually do not, because I'm pretty certain that they're going to change it somehow. Like right now, this version of machete and pistol is just a little bit too weak. A lot of people say, like, how come it's not in survival? I do think that it's slow enough that it should be in survival. Like, don't get me wrong, the damage can be okay once you get into the late game. But then again, the Rusty Sword can also be pretty decent if you get it into the late game, so... I do realize that the Flask gets nerfed. I'm really sad about that. I do think it needs to get toned down a little bit, but if you make it so that you don't get any healing, then that's kind of a deal break. Well, this does not happen very often. I believe that's like a 10% chance. I don't believe it got nerfed on PC yet. So I know on Switch, maybe the console too. But PC is good for now, but I can't really play it the same way I do like this current patch, if it's actually getting nerfed. Just gotta be careful. There we go. Is there an easy way to farm blueprints? Well, I do think that on 5BC, because of Malays, you can actually just intentionally let enemies spawn if it has like a blueprint that you don't have yet. If I were to just farm for like a particular blueprint, I would just use the Hunter's Grenade. I wish there were more mods that added more weapons. I would try out modded runs, but I don't know if modding for Dead Cells is very accessible. Is this the only roguelike that you play constantly? Well, for the sake of the channel, yes. I have played Binding of Isaac for a really long time. Like, I played it since elementary school. I'm still working on the unlocks. I haven't 100%ed the game. I was pretty excited for Repentance, but they just kept adding more and more stuff. There's just so much content in that game. Yeah, so I know some people are just joining in. This mic, it picks up all the sound around me, so if you hear any random noises, it's probably my controller. Like, I'm trying to hold it as far away as possible, but I don't think it's ever gonna happen. Like, it's just gonna keep making those sounds. But hopefully, when I make this into a video, I can hide some of that. Hello? Was that Ice Armor? I think Ice Armor just saved me. Ice Armor's the true MVP in this build. Okay, that was my bad. We live in the province of boss cells. That's technically true. BC. I don't know how many Canadians are in the chat. I mean, I've read a lot about like American healthcare. I mean, it's not that Canada's better, it's just that like the states, the situation is just pretty bad over there that it makes Canada look good in comparison. But I'm not sure if this is the case with other games. It's not really a big deal if you miss like a couple secrets here and there. But like if you miss a challenge rift, it's kind of a big deal. Well, it's not like a game-breaking deal, it's just... But I guess the one thing that's actually good over here is like if you go skiing or snowboarding. If you want to go to Whistler, it's only like a couple hour drive away. But then again, you gotta deal with the insanely long... Okay, that's my bad. There's like a huge lineup every time you go. I used to snowboard, but now I just don't have the time for it. And plus, if you go for like one day, it's like 80 bucks, which is crazy. And I think if you go to Whistler, it's even worse. Oh my god, this frost... I think this is Frost Blast, right? No, Frostbite. Yeah, it's Frostbite that's doing this. There we go. You ought to try Hades. I've actually played it. I have like 70 hours in it. I played it all the way until the epilogue. It's a really good game. It's just that when it comes to builds, you can't really do as much as you can like in Dead Cells. Do you think Dead Cells is gonna get a sequel? Well, I mean, I'm assuming Motion Twin is working on something. At least that's what they say on their Steam page. Essentially, they get funding from the DLCs to fund their next project. As for what project that next thing is, I'm not sure. Have you tried Curse of the Dead Gods? I have not. I think, like, in the 2.6 update, all the crossover items, the only game I've tried amongst all of them are Hollow Knight and Guacamelee. Well, Guacamelee, I just got it for free on Steam once. And I tried it out, it's pretty cool. Have you played Enter the Gungeon? I have, actually. I have a video on roguelikes that I have played. I did it for 10,000 subscribers. I believe in them there is Nuclear Throne, Enter the Gungeon. I forgot what the other ones were, but if you scroll back on my videos tab, you should be able to see it. Like, I think I would try to get out a video like once every week. But even then, that's like, I had to prioritize everything else just so I have the time to edit and all that. But I think it's gonna be slightly better in January because I only have to go to campus like 2 days per week. But there has been rumors that they'll just make classes online again, which, you know, I'm not really... I prefer if they were in person. It's just, you get to meet a lot more people. Well, I guess it's better if you're like an introverted person. It was awkward at first hearing yourself on camera because I always thought that my voice sounded really annoying. I don't know if that's the case with everybody else, but like if you go and you record your own voice and listen to it, it just sounds different. Your voice is good? Well, thank you. Yeah, you do get used to it once you do it a couple times. But if you guys look back on my first couple videos ever, like I sound really dead. I sound really dead inside. Have you tried Spartan Sandals against Mama Tick? I do know that her attacks can get interrupted by a lot of things. Okay, I'm gonna need to wait for this. There we go. No hit? Well, I don't know. This boss is pretty hard to no hit if I'm gonna be honest. Do you plan on doing a face reveal? I don't mind doing it. It's gonna have to wait for a little bit, I think. but I don't mind showing my face. Like, it's not... I would say I'm pretty average looking, to be honest. And for the one that's the guy that keeps saying, which anime do you like? I talked about this a bit earlier on the stream, but I think now, you know, my favorite ones has got to be Steins Gate is pretty good, and JoJo. I would say those are my two, the ones that I enjoy the most. But again, there's no like objective best show or anime that I watch. I just think that it's amongst some of like the best ones I've seen. I just needed to dash over here. Hello? Can you step into my trap? Thank you. There we go. Wow, look at this. It's the most useless item in the game. Well, at least if you're on 5VC. Alright, so this is where things just start dying, I guess. Does Dead Cells get repetitive? I think it does at times, but because there's just so much content that it doesn't really get old for me, at least. Like, we also got the next DLC coming in, so that's gonna add another ending to the game. I'm not sure if it's gonna get labeled as spoiler content, but I'm still pretty excited for it. But yeah, are there any builds that you guys want to see? I do have some builds on the radar. I am gonna do one with probably War Spear, Assassin's Dagger, and probably... I know Symmetrical Lens, I haven't done one yet. Cursed Sword is probably not happening, unfortunately. I have not done one with Warpan yet. That's another one I can look at. Someone says, will you do one with the damned aspect? I'm assuming you're talking about Cursed Sword. So, I could, but if you play Cursed Sword with the damned aspect, then it's not really a Cursed Sword run anymore. There's the Cursed Chest. I'm just gonna check whether or not there are more enemies for me to kill. I just don't want to rush into a trap. I know someone mentioned this earlier. Do you watch any other Dead Cells creators? The only person I really watch is V.me. I have actually seen his like 1.6 tier lists back in like 2019 or something. Is there stuff in here? Okay, well. There we go. And we might as well check this out since I'm here already. Oh my god, that's a lot of monsters. That's also one of the reasons why I quit Genshin Impact. It's that it feels like it pushes you, it nudges you to come back every single day just for like a tiny bit of reward. That's like absolutely essential for you to have in order to progress with the game. Like if I were to describe Genshin Impact, it would be like, in one word, actually in two words, I would say Stockholm Syndrome. I mean, my friend plays it, and he uses the, I don't know how many of you know this, but you can use real-life currency to farm even more. It's called Primo Gems. He uses Primo Gems to refill his resin, which is like, you need it in order to do stuff in the game, but since it runs out so quickly, you can use real-life currency to do it, to refill it. And like, he does that like every single day, which is just nuts. Like, you know the $60 games that are in the US? It's $80 over here. It's been this way for like decades. Actually, it's been like this since games started to release over here. Yeah, so yeah, sunk cost fallacy is kind of the reason. Another reason I don't do online games. I don't have the time and energy to invest that much resources and time into something. Especially a game. It's like if you look at Dead Cells or even any indie game, you pay a certain amount of dollars, you pay a certain amount of money, and then you get it forever. It's yours forever. and you can do whatever you want with it. Like, if I were to pick between having like a new phone or a console versus a PC, it's gonna be PC. Because I bought this PC from a friend, and then ever since I started YouTube, because having a good computer really helps with editing as well. Ever since that happened, I've already like made back the money I used to purchase that PC, which is amazing. Which weapons are best for Giant? I don't think there is one objective best weapon that you can have. But things to note about the Giant is that he cannot get frozen or rooted. Psyche, turn on Super Chat? It's okay, you guys don't need to donate. Why did you decide to showcase this build? So I showcased another build before this, and the reason why I'm doing this particular weapon is that because it's kind of like a Christmas themed build. I am gonna make these 2 runs into full videos. Yeah, I think in terms of the 2.6 showcases, I'm pretty much done with them all. So the 2 weapons that I don't plan on showcasing are the machete and pistol as well as Poyo Power. I'm sure it's possible. It's just that Poyo Power, I tried a lot to make it work off camera, and I just couldn't do it. These weapons will have to be really good. And this weapon is really good. Okay, just gonna get the food. Oh, actually, this is really good. Oh, I'm gonna take that. I bought my current computer from my friend for 1,600 Canadian dollars. I'm not sure how that translates to US dollars, but essentially it came with a computer, but it also came with a monitor, and this is an ultra-wide monitor as well. So honestly, I think that was really worth. Oh yeah, this is gonna be slow. Actually, it's okay. It's doing alright, damage-wise. Yeah, this is okay, right? I think this will get him halfway. Yeah. He's gonna do the annoying crystal thing again. Yeah, this is okay. It's not that bad. I feel like with the ice crossbow, you can't really fight Giant because it's so dependent on you having to land critical hits. Dodge that. It feels so weird not having a shield, to be honest. Alright, that's it. Alright, let's fight Hand of the King. Alright, Wolf Trap, MVP. Well, that's a lot of damage. Whoa! Didn't want to climb on that. Rip, no hit. It's fine, it's fine. It's just a minor setback. But I'm still pretty surprised how much damage that took. Because this is survival? Well, actually, no, I don't have Berserker anymore, so I think that makes sense. Also, does anyone here play the Yakuza games? I've actually completed all of them up to 6. I haven't played 6 yet. Well, actually in 7 as well. But yeah, I really like the Yakuza games. I don't think it's as mainstream as like GTA or something like that. But it is a pretty good game if anyone wants to try it out. Do you play board games? That's an interesting question. I don't think so. Well, I know how to play Catan. I know that's like the one true board game there is. Well, I guess there's also Monopoly, but Monopoly is kind of mainstream, to be honest. I don't know. We actually play Monopoly for like a high school class when we're learning about like finances or something. It's kind of stupid, but I mean, we got to play Monopoly in class, so not really complaining. So that being said, I've actually never played a Nintendo game in my life. I don't own a Switch. I've never owned a 3DS. Never played Breath of the Wild. And you know, if they port those to PC, I will gladly play them. But since they haven't, you know, I guess I'm not going to play it. Like, I'm sure there are good games. Do I play basketball? The only sport that I do is going to the gym, and I don't even know if you can count that as a sport, to be honest. I don't know where this guy came from. Well, that's a one-shot. You know, like, you could do it with the Frost Blast too, but if you can freeze something from pretty far away. I'm also thinking of... Okay, that's a mistake. I'm thinking of naming this video, Night of the Nutcracker. As, like, the YouTube name, once I actually make this into a video. Let's heal up. There's Boy's Axe for rooting. You can do Frost Blast. You can even do, like, Stun. I don't know if there's any weapons that can stun enemies. The only thing I know is Stun Grenade, which kind of sucks, but, you know. So, let me just show off the build since someone asked for it. So, as you can see, this build is kind of busted. We got the bonus to Poison, as well as Oil, and we also have those two affixes on the Wolf Trap. So, yeah, just really busted setup all around. Let's see how it does against the Collector, though. Santa's Massacre? I like that. I might actually change it. That does sound pretty nice. How do you dual bind? You can still do it in custom mode, except it will disable achievements. There is, I'm not sure exactly where it is, but if you go in the options menu, you should see one where it says like an alternative binding profile or something. I think that's what it's called. I wish he'd stop doing that. Okay. Can you make a blowgun build? I think I can. I'm just not sure what kind of setup I wanted to have. That's kind of the case with a lot of the builds I want to try out, is that I don't know what it's gonna pair up well with. And a lot of the times I find that the best builds really come if you actually like do experiments with different items. I think that's the second heal. That's not it. Wow. Yeah, the thing about this is that you can't freeze the Collector. That's kind of a big downside. Let's just heal up here, why not? keeps doing that. I really hate the ground slam one. It's just so much stuff you have to worry about. There we go. That only took like ages. Okay. Well, I couldn't one-shot it like I did with Ice Crossbow, but anyways, this has been 2 live showcases. One with the Ice Crossbow, the other one with Nutcracker. So this is gonna be it for the stream. I'm really tired. Honestly, it hurts to talk right now. I didn't think it was gonna be this tiring. Anyways, this is the end of the stream, and I'll see you everyone later, I guess, after I make these into videos.